Bobby Crosby, I'm going to give a lot of love to and say he's been a big part of that, because he absolutely has been a big part of that. Before we start talking about fantasy camp, we know how much you love being out here for fantasy camp. It's really our first time to talk to you. Congratulations on the promotion. You're back in the big leagues.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Yeah, I got to think for you, you're meant to be in the big leagues, right? So it's like, so what was it like when you found out that was going to happen?
Well, Kotsay called me. We had a conversation. It went really well. I enjoyed managing. I really did, but I'm happy to be there. I think I can help out, so it'll be good.
A lot of people know how I feel because I've said it on the show. I do think you will be a manager in the big leagues. You learned a lot, sticking with the theme of seeing all these legendary coaches step away or break apart from the organization. When we look at, Nick Saban and we look at Pete Carroll, it was yesterday, today, Bill Belichick. When I look at it, someone like your career, all you need to do is you need to go to those guys' Wikipedia pages and you see how they started, right? They were a DB coach here, and then they were a coach. It's a long list of all the different schools and then places in the NFL, and before they ever became a head coach. When I put it into baseball sense, just in how you're growing, how important was it for you to get that opportunity to manage? And now you're going to get to the big league level and you're going to be doing a lot more individual coaching, but just how important was it for you to get that experience?
Oh, it's huge. There's things about the game that I learned, the pitching side, calling games, picking over at certain times, just the whole well-rounded game aspect of it, I guess. I came in as an infield guy, and then after 3 years of managing, I feel like I learned a ton. How to deal with players better, how to deal with different personalities and things like that. And now I'm back in the individualistic role.
Yeah.
But, those 3 years were huge for me. I thought I had a pretty good grasp of the game, the ins and outs, but I learned a lot. It was really good.
Yeah. And the one thing that I always like to ask when someone's had that kind of opportunity, because we think is here in sports and we're thinking about how do you make a guy better, but such a huge part of that role of whether you're going to be a manager, you're going to be a head coach, you're really going to be a leader of men. You got to really learn how to deal with humans. You got to learn how to communicate. You got to start understanding that all these guys, that they've got problems away from the field. Just talk about how learning how to manage people beyond, can you pick up a ground ball? Can you hit? Can you throw a strike? You're dealing with human beings, and you have to help them grow as people and deal with the issues they may be having.
Correct. The baseball aspect is a big part. Their skills on the field, but their mental aspect is bigger. That's usually the separator from a really good minor leaguer to a really good big leaguer. So finding out, about different guys, what makes them tick, what makes them good, what makes them bad, if they're having a good day, a bad day, and why. Those are things that I think, you can lift a player up and make them a lot better if you know what they're about. So having 27 guys in the clubhouse and learning about every single one of them, could be a challenge at times, but it's something I enjoy. I really enjoyed, picking these guys' brains and finding out, how I can make them better and taking myself out of it on the way I like to coach, but it's more how they like to learn and really dive into them.
We were just talking about it right before you came up, when you start looking around our own division, and Texas hasn't done a lot. They've got guys that are going to be counting on later in the year, pitching wise, big time names like DeGrom and Scherzer, who have been injured. We have no clue what the Angels are going to look like. The Astros, it's kind of interesting how they're starting to change their roster. Seattle's not spending money. The A's are interesting with a lot of young guys, and you've managed a lot of those young guys who are now getting the taste. Just talk about how really Oakland being the land of opportunity. I'm not saying anything about win totals or challenging for a division. I'm just saying, look out. It could be more interesting than you think in 2024.
I think it really will. I think, I think Soderstrom with the fresh start is going to be awesome. I think Butler with a fresh start is going to be awesome. Gelof continue what he's going to do. We have a lot of interesting pieces and a lot of talent that once these guys feel maybe a little bit more comfortable, get their feet wet, it could be really interesting. I think our pitching staff is going to be really good. So, I think we could surprise some people. I think, I know how Kotsay manages I know how he's respected. I know how he wants things done the right way. And I think these guys are going to feed off it. I think we're going to continue to grow and continue to get better. And I think we'll surprise people. I think it'll be really good.
When you have that taste, like a lot of guys had last year, how important is it for them to get that, to have this offseason where the carrot's been dangled in front of them? Like this offseason is so big for these guys because, as you said, now they're going to come in kind of like a fresh start. Well, they'll go to spring training and they understand what it's like to be on the plane, in the hotels, to play in front of the media and the fans and everything. So talk about how you get that taste, and this offseason is so big for these guys to build going into this year.
It's huge. I mean, I don't care who you are, maybe unless you're Zack, but you look at the big leagues and sometimes it can be bigger than just baseball. I know when I got called up in September of 2003, I went 0 for 12 with like 7 strikeouts and made 3 errors. I was like, geez, and I made the big leagues bigger than it was. It wasn't just baseball. So it was big for me to have that off season and mentally prepare on what I'm about to do. So I think for Tyler and Love and and numerous guys, for them to have a little taste and now be able to go into the season where their batting average is 0, they don't have any at bats, and they can start building that confidence. And they know they belong there, but a few hits in there, at the beginning would be great to kind of get them on a roll and get started. And I know both of those guys, when I'm talking about Law and Soderstrom, they're guys that are going to build. As soon as they start hitting, they could do something pretty special. So I think it's really big that they got that little piece last year, and they can come to this year with a little bit more confidence.
Soderstrom's so young.
He's so young and so good. And I've been asked that a lot here. What do you think of Tyler? She can go, he's 20, he's 21. I mean, the guy has raked his entire life.
Yeah.
He raked all the way up through the minor leagues. And the big league sometimes can be like a little whoa factor. It could be like, and take a step back, and these pitchers are good and they're going to find a way. But Tyler is not going to just all of a sudden forget how to hit. The guy can flat out hit, and he's going to hit. He's going to hit for a long time. So he's one of those guys I never worry about. I don't, people might might have at certain times last year, but I don't. I know he's going to hit.
Gelof just seems special.
Yep.
Right? And I had a comp, and I know I throw the comp out, and for a lot of people, it's kind of an older reference. Not too old, but for me growing up, watching a lot of WGN, because when we first got cable in the 80s, right, there wasn't a lot of baseball on cable, right?
That's right.
And it was Ryne Sandberg, who was big for a second baseman, could run, could hit for power, could hit to all fields. I mean, there's a reason why he's in the Baseball Hall of Fame. But a lot of people would forget a young Ryne Sandberg could steal 30 to 40 bases in a year. And I was looking out at Gelof, and everybody they had like Ian Kinsler. I'm like, I get Ian Kinsler's a terrific player. I don't see a comp between it. Ryne Sandberg, especially young Ryne Sandberg, reminds me of Zack Gelof. You remember Sandberg?
Absolutely, that's a great comp. I mean, it's great for Zack. I mean, it's
yeah.
But it's I can see it. I mean, he's a guy that can be an outstanding player for a long, long time. He has that. I talk about the mentality that separates guys. He has a mentality that he's always hungry. No matter how he did the day before, he comes in and he's hungry, and he has one of the best routines out there. He continues to want to get better. I don't care if he goes and has a 2020 season this year, 33rd, whatever he does, he's going to want to come back and he's going to want to be better. And he has that little edge or little chip that he is not going to stop. He's going to continue to drive and continue to try to lift up other people. And his attitude is always so good. He's special. He really is.
I saw play. It's probably a couple weeks into him being here. And obviously he's been a guy that's been around on the left side of the diamond. He's now playing on the right side. But I really honed in on this, especially in the post-game show once I saw it, is there's natural leaders. There's certain guys on the field that you see, and it doesn't matter what the sport is. You'll see it in football, you'll see it in basketball. There's just certain guys who are the dudes. And there was a play. It was a pop-up, high sky in Oakland, right? Everybody's struggling with it. Nick Allen's kind of looking around. Jordan Diaz looking around. And I can't remember who the pitcher was. And it was really Jordan Diaz's ball. Out of nowhere, here comes Zack Gelof out of nowhere. And basically was like, get the hell out of the way. I got it, caught it, turned around, went to run back. And I said, after the game, I'm like, did everybody see that? That's what the guy who takes control, that's what the leader is. He basically told everybody, get the hell out of the way. I'm getting the out. And he was keeping the runner at first, and Noda had the runner at first.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's stuff you don't teach.
Yeah, he's a leader. He's a winner, and he's fearless. He is not scared. As you saw, he gets up to the big leagues, and for him, he's one of those rare guys who just goes, oh, it's baseball. I'm good at baseball. I can do this. And I know when he came to that clubhouse, and there was a few other guys, and he was the leader. I mean, he came in, and guys gravitate to Zack. They really do. They follow his lead because of the way he goes about his business, the way he prepares, and the way he plays the game. He plays it hard. He plays it confident, and guys want to be around Zack. Guys gravitate to him. So he's a born leader, and he's only going to get better. And I think he has a desire to make everybody else around him better. If he sees somebody struggling with something, he has no problem going up to him and talking to him and saying, hey, I do this. How about this? How about this? He's a confident kid.
Butler, we love.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously.
So do I.
He said he says he still watches the show. So.
What up, Law?
If Law's watching.
Law's the man, yeah.
Just love what he brings to the yard.
Yeah.
Love the like, and he struggled a little bit offensively. Yeah. How do you view him long term?
He's similar in a Soderstrom thing where he has that ability in a big situation to be calm, confident, and come up big. The confidence is he's not short on it. I think he got to the big leagues and he is having that little period, or he had that period where, big league pitchers are really good. But when the lights come on, Law is ready. Law likes the attention. He likes the pressure situation. He's not scared of it. He wants it. So he's going to hit for a long time. He's going to be really good. He's only going to get better. I mean, we're talking about a high school kid who has made huge strides over the past 2-3 years, like big strides. And over time, he's just going to get better and better. And the more he understands his swing and understands his approaches and how people are pitching him, because the talent is 100% in there. He's an uber athlete with great baseball skills.
Yeah, down there working with Marquise Grissom, you like to hear that.
Yeah.
And the thing that I thought about with him was like, man, I love him in center.
Yeah.
I know everyone's like, he's going to be a right fielder. Right fielder. I mean, A's need a center fielder, a guy who can legitimately play center field. I don't know if it's going to be J.J. Bleday or if it's going to be Law, but what do you think about Law in center?
He can do it. He can play in all spots. I mean, if you look at his body, you might say he's a big kid. Maybe he's more of a left or right fielder, but he can move. And he's got good baseball instincts. And, we were playing at the same time you guys were last year. So, I didn't get to see his jumps and routes as much as I'd like to. But I've dove into it a little bit this offseason. And there are things that, right off the bat where he could be a hair more aggressive, I believe. And it's going to be, he's only going to get better as time goes on. But he can be a center fielder. There's no doubt about it. He has the speed. He has the instincts. And the more reps he's got or he gets, he's only going to get better and better.
All right, somebody we were almost going to have on the program. It just didn't work out, but we will because I played with his agent. Is Denzel Clarke.
Yeah.
Denzel Clarke's a good kid, uber athlete once again.
There we go, yeah.
Tell us all about, because a lot of us haven't seen him. It was great that he got the experience with Team Canada and the WBC. Tell us about Denzel Clarke.
He's one of those guys that if I'm coaching third, the umpire wants to know about him, the third baseman wants to know about him. They see the plays he makes, and it's not stuff you see. I mean, he'll climb up a 15-foot wall and almost rob a home run. I mean, it's stuff that is not normal for baseball players to do. The baseball skill side of it, he's still coming into his own. The athletic side, it's one of the best athletes I've seen on a baseball field. It's head and shoulders above everybody else on the field when it comes to being an athlete. He's so strong. When he came up to Double-A, he had 7 homers in the first couple weeks, I believe. Oppo homers in Midland, which don't happen too often. He's so strong. He's so wiry. He's so fast. He has every athletic tool you can have. And once the little small baseball skills catch up to that and how he goes about taking at bats, he just has to polish a few things. Once he does, I mean, he's one of those guys that you go to the field to watch, and you pay to watch him play, and he does stuff that you haven't seen before.
Well, fantasy camp's a lot of fun. We wanted to have you on because obviously the promotion coming back to the big leagues is big. And also, these guys that we're going to see in the big leagues, you've been a big part of their career. You'll continue to be a big part of their career. But that's also a great story. But also, it's time to dethrone Dallas Braden. It's time to take him down.
I'm actually coaching with him.
What?
Yeah, I mean, we
You're stacking the deck?
Yeah, but I think we're getting smoked right now. Yeah, we last year they split us up. The past years before that, we always coached together, but they split us up last year, and he beat us in the championship game, which was tough. But they put us together now, and we're gonna see. I think we're getting crushed right now. But.
Yeah, just quickly, just the friendships. It's you can't say it enough. What you guys have been able to build with these fans here at Fantasy Camp, something really special.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, they love coming. We love watching them play. We love giving them a hard time. Everybody knows Dallas. He's the perfect guy to come out here and give people a hard time. And I enjoy it. I enjoy teaching them. I enjoy talking to them. They have so many questions and want to know about how things are in the minor leagues and the big leagues, and we're very open and honest with them, and they get an experience for a week that is pretty cool. I mean, they get to be big leaguers for a week, and for me, it's amazing too. I get to be around. I grew up an A's fan, so to be around Steiny and Stewie and Carney, like being around these guys for me is just as cool as the campers here. So it's a good time.
I'll tell you what, we're gonna really look forward to having you on A's Cast Live a lot this year.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I know it's gonna definitely help out the coaching staff. It's gonna be big. Yeah. Good to see you.
You too, Tony.
Be well. Good luck with Dallas, and as he's trying to repeat.
Yeah, nobody wants him to win, and it's like I mean, I'm kind of lumped in with him. I'm not as loud and as brash as he is, but he's pretty loud, and everybody knows that he won it last year, and yeah, no one's rooting for us.
Next time we'll see you, spring training.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited.